拥有一件史诗级杰作是许多藏家追求的终极目标。史诗级杰作指在历史上具有深远影响，在艺术界享有盛誉，并且在市场上备受追捧的作品。它们代表了特定时期、流派或艺术家的顶尖成就，具有极高的独特性和稀缺性。在西方艺术市场中，战后抽象一直是热门和主题。尽管该领域长期由男性艺术家作品所主导，但随着近几年市场对战后女性艺术家的持续关注和价值重估，正在为藏家们带来新的思路和投资机遇。如能把握时机，将会在日后收获丰厚回报。本期视频带你走进纽约著名画廊 Berry Campbell Gallery 的私人展厅，走进蓝筹艺术家伊莱恩·德库宁的画中世界，品鉴一件不可多得的博物馆级佳作。Hello, Christine. So wonderful to see you today. I'm thrilled to feature this work by Elaine de Kooning in our video today. She's a standing figure in abstract expressionism, alongside with esteemed female artists of her time, such as Joanne Mitchell, Helen Frankenthaler, and Lee Krasner. Given your expertise in this field, it's no surprise to see such important masterpiece consigned to you. Could you share more about Elaine de Kooning and the importance of this particular piece in art history?
Thank you so much for being here. I'm always glad to see you. You always like the best things in the gallery, so thank you for coming today.
My pleasure.
As you mentioned, Elaine de Kooning is one of the foremost abstract expressionists of our time. So there's been a lot of recent sort of renewal and interest in these artists, particularly the women. You know, we think about Jackson Pollock and Willem de Kooning and a lot of the men from this time, and that the history was really written about the men, but there were women working alongside these men who were as important, that showed in the same exhibitions, and Elaine de Kooning is one of them. She was originally from New York City, and she grew up in Brooklyn, and her family really was interested in the arts. Her mother would take her to museums and galleries, and so she really had an interest at a young age, and I think that sort of shaped her becoming interested in the arts. She studied art at Hunter College and the Leonardo da Vinci School, which was an important school here. And we're talking about the 1930s. Like, this is very early. And this kind of painting at that time was really important historically at the forefront of the New York school. Everything was moving from Paris to New York City.
Yes.
And she started studying in 1938 with Willem de Kooning, who would become her future husband. So often people ask, how are they related? She married Willem de Kooning. And she was a wonderful painter in her own right, but she always felt she was in his shadow. She made a great comment about she actually painted in the light of Willem de Kooning and not his shadow. So this is a very important painting from 1960. So this is one of the finest paintings that's available by her. Why it is so important is it's because it's an abstract painting. So Elaine de Kooning is known for her portraiture and her figures, but there was a time from the late 40s to the 1960s where she painted purely abstract. You can see this wonderful brushstroke here. It's all about gesture for her. So in every painting she ever does, you can see the movement. There's a strength in this painting. It's sort of anchored in this black, and it's almost like an old master. It's very important. She recently was heralded in the book called The Ninth Street Women by Mary Gabriel, which I know we both have read. It's a good one to read. And this talked about the artists like Joan Mitchell, Lee Krasner, and really gave a wonderful context about these artists.
I always advise my clients to seek the highest quality artworks in the market, especially for high-value acquisitions. Consider factors like the artist's prime time, provenance, acquisition history by notable private collections and public collections, and auction record for reference. For instance, a comparable piece made in the exact same year as this one was sold at Sotheby's, New York in 2022 for $1,071,000, setting her personal record. Given the rarity of similar works in the secondary market, this piece holds exceptional significance.
So Karen and I wanted to show you another example of an Elaine de Kooning painting. We are fortunate to have a few in our inventory right now. This is an amazing work we just got in from Elaine de Kooning's Bacchus series. So Elaine de Kooning, while we've seen earlier her abstract paintings, in this painting we see where she's interested in the figure. And that's really most of her life. She was painting portraits. She recently had a show at the National Portrait Gallery at the Smithsonian. So this is based on the Bacchus statue, which we know is a Greek and Roman statue. However, she saw an outdoor version of this sculpture in the Luxembourg Gardens in Paris. I was just there.
Oh.
So this is what you're seeing around it, is sort of a landscape around this figure. And what artists find most interesting about making sculpture and using the Bacchus as a subject is this twisting and turning of the figure. So it's really based on a classical Greek and Roman figure studies. And here you can see her signature because we talk about how she was married to Willem de Kooning. It's E-D-E-K. So she couldn't sign her paintings de Kooning. She had to do something different than Willem. So she did her initials, E-D-E-K. So you can always identify her paintings.
I like the intimate scale, but the work is very powerful. Elaine de Kooning is characterized by her bold and gestural brushworks that conveys energy and movement. Her confident and spontaneous approach results in dynamic textures and depths on the canvas, with versatility ranging from fluid passages to even more aggressive marks. She captures her subject with immediacy and vitality, defining her unique artistic language.
As you know, Elaine de Kooning is really on the rise, not only with her market, but also with curators and collectors and museums. She's in most major collections in the United States and now internationally. The Museum of Modern Art, the Metropolitan Museum, the Whitney Museum, the National Gallery, on and on and on. But it's great that you can still buy an Elaine de Kooning. They are rare. There's not a lot of them, but they do come on the market, so it's a good opportunity to buy.
Exactly, and I think for collectors, collecting an important work of abstract expressionism is a harmonious convergence of wealth, status, resources, and taste, offering both financial investment and cultural enrichment opportunities for them.
Indeed, and it's beautiful too. You can live with it.
I agree. Thank you so much, Christine, for sharing your insight.
Thank you so much for coming.
那我们今天的画廊私访就先到这里。如果你想要收藏视频中介绍的藏品，可以在视频下方找到我们的联系方式。如果你喜欢本期的视频，别忘了点赞、评论、收藏、转发。我们下期见啦！